All right, guys, and welcome back. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I hope you guys are excited for this one. As you guys can see, I've already been working hard. A lot of wet sanding on the wheels for the Juke, but as you can tell by the title of this video, we have a new car to introduce to the channel. So I'm gonna give you a little backstory real quick, and kind of how and why I went with this car. So I'm going to black the car out in the picture so nobody knows what it is, but I hope you guys are as excited for this as I am, because this is going to be something that I have never messed with, a platform that I have never messed with, an engine combination that I have never messed with. So something completely new to me. 100% have never touched one of these cars before, but I've always looked into them because I always thought they were cool. So short backstory. My first car was, of course, a 1989 Dodge Daytona, which is a turbo 2.5 liter, makes a lot of torque, is a very fun introductory turbo car. Those things will make like 230 horsepower with, you know, full exhaust, intake, intercooler, and everything. So I had that all the way up until I think my junior year of high school. Then I got into auto body and paint. And I was like, okay, I have to drive, I think it was like 35 miles every day to go to both schools. I was still in high school and I was going to paint and body school. I got a Honda Accord. Well, when I got into the Honda Accord, of course, I can't leave anything alone. My Daytona already had like piston and rods in it and, you know, short block with a T2 turbo. So my Accord started doing full bolt-ons, clutch flywheel, did a H23 transmission, did everything. So at that point, I was like, oh man, this thing is not that fast. I think I got it down to low 15s before I sprayed it. Then I started messing with nitrous. This tells you how long I've been playing with nitrous, because guys, I'm not young. So started playing with nitrous, had so much fun. I broke so many transmissions on a Honda Accord with nitrous. I pretty much used up half of them in Orlando at one point. And it was a great experience. I learned a ton. The F22 motor, if you guys have never experienced the torque it makes, it is kind of, it's un-Honda-like. It's more of a, like a domestic style car, because it makes the exact same torque as it makes power. So once I got up here and started thinking about stuff to grow the channel, I know you guys, some of you guys are super into the Honda content. Some of you guys are super into the Turbo Dodge content. And I was like, man, I need something cheap that's fun that will grow the audience of the channel. I personally love this car. And like I was saying, this is a platform I've never touched and a drivetrain lineup that I've never touched. So I have the Juke, which is a daily driven turbo car. I have the DA, which will never be daily driven, but it's a nitrous car. And then I have my Accord, which is a turbo car, which I've been collecting parts for all three of these in between all these videos, of course, to get everything finished and yada, yada, yada. So I wanted something super budget that could draw, you know, an audience, a different perspective to the channel, and something that we could all learn together. So I started searching around and I was like, man, okay, I don't want a turbo car and I don't want an all-motor Honda. I already have those. You know, I already have a B series car and I already have an H series car. So I kind of want to stay away from Hondas. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, I don't need anything, you know, too common. So I was like, all right, cool. You know what I've never owned? A supercharged car. I've never had a supercharged vehicle. Never. I've never experienced the instant, you know, power of a supercharger. I was like, all right, cool. What kind of supercharged cars can I buy for a budget? And when I started looking into the budget, I was thinking like $1,500, $2,000 for a budget car. I don't really care if it ran, because I'm gonna take it apart anyways, because, you know, if it's supercharged, of course I have plans on turning it up or doing bolt-ons and stuff like that. So it being stock is kind of like, doesn't matter to me. And the more we do to it, the more we can learn on the channel, and the more exposure we can get. So I was like, all right, well, so I need a budget supercharged car. I want a budget supercharged car. So I started looking around and I was like, all right, cool. The only two budget supercharged cars that I know would be like a Cobalt SS, the early generations, and a Mini Cooper. And I was like, man, I already have a real small, the Juke has a 1.6 liter. The Mini Coopers have little motors like that. I was like, man, that's too much like the Juke. Like I understand it's a cool car, but it's too much like the Juke. And I was like, man, I want something odd. And a Cobalt SS to me is just, it's not that odd. A lot of teenage people drive Cobalt SSs. That's not an odd car to me. So then I started looking up, and I found the car that I'm about to show you. And I was like, wow, that thing's, something odd, something that fits in with cars I would own, because I own oddball cars, and something that we could learn and build together on the channel. And I could get info from you guys, from people that have modified these, and, go the budget route. And I found out that these cars are pretty budget to build. So what I purchased, and I will tell you how much I paid for it, but let's take a look at it first. What I purchased was a 2004 Saturn Ion Redline. I know it's not the prettiest. This car does have a rebuilt title. That's how I got it so cheap. And we can look at a few things, and I'll show you the damage that I know that's done and issues that I know with the car. So first off, the Ion comes with a different bumper, the side ground effects, the Ion Redline wheels. As you can see, this one's missing a mirror in the side piece. It was broken off at the guy's house when I got it. So I have already ordered those. And it has this little weird wing on the back. But this side of the car doesn't look too bad. Now, where the damage is the other side. So supposedly this car had slid into a guardrail, but if you guys don't know, Saturns are plastic. So the only thing it really broke was right here on the fender and the side skirt. It just cracked it a little bit. But like I said, for a budget build, I'm not really too concerned about the outward appearance of the car. I am more concerned with, these things are weird to open, what's under the hood. So this is, if you guys don't know, the same exact motor that is in a Cobalt SS. This is a LSJ, that's the engine series, or I believe what they call it, supercharged 2-liter Ecotec. So the cool thing about this is it doesn't run, for one. For one, it doesn't run. Two, it already has bolt-ons. So it has this long cold air intake K&N. It has a lower, or a pulley upgrade. So I believe it is, from the info I found, it's like a stage 2 GM pulley. I could be wrong. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever messed with one of these cars. And it has this odd, like mid-length 4 to 2 to 1 header. And it has a full 3-inch exhaust. On the inside of the car, it has missing mirror, missing door garnish. Apparently that's common for these to break on Saturns. I found that out. But on the inside of the car, let's not hit it on anything, it has Recaro seats. They're not perfect. The interior is not perfect. And the weirdest thing and the coolest thing, like I said, oddball car lover like me, is it has this cluster in the center of the car. So because this is an Ion Redline, it comes with a tach and everything like that. We have the key, we have the keyless alarm. It does have upgraded speakers in the door. Like I popped the little trim off and it looked like they were upgraded. It did have a shifter in it, but somebody stole the shift knob. And if you guys don't know about these cars, they come with suicide doors. It is the weirdest thing ever. As you can tell, it's not perfect. It's a 4-door coupe. It's kind of funny. But as you can see, the interior is not too bad. Of course, it doesn't run. I haven't actually plugged the battery in yet to see if it, everything turns on. But the guy told me that these cars are commonly known for popping timing chains and bending valves, which, as you guys know, I can fix that pretty easily. So what do we do with this car, and how much did I pay for it? So I know that from prior experience with these cars, racing against them, that these cars have a really weird gearing, and the supercharged ones are really good for roll racing, but they're really horrible on dig racing. So I say we take it apart, we figure out what's wrong with it, we fix it, and you know, maybe turn up the boost, maybe not, depends on how it runs. And then we potentially spray it, because nitrous supercharged cars always work great. Nitrous works great on everything. And maybe gut it, see how fast we can make it. It does have a weird 5x110 bolt pattern, so it might be hard to find some slicks for it. But we have wheels, and I'm sure we could find a set of 15s to fit it off of another Saturn. But for the $500 I paid for it, I think it was a good deal. I've already purchased the mirror and the side piece from fellow Saturn people for a rather cheap price. So totally invested, I have like $560 into the whole car. It does have a rebuilt title, which up here in Pennsylvania, I'll have to get the car looked over once it's fixed and running to actually legal tag it. But this is going to be the end of the video. I wanted to introduce the Saturn. We'll get into videos of taking it apart, figuring out what's wrong with it, finding out more things about it that I don't know, or you guys can leave down in the comments things I probably don't know. And I hope you guys enjoy the new project for me personally. So this isn't my brother's, this is mine personal. So I have, you know, the Saturn, the Juke, the DEA, and the Accord, which, like I said, I've been collecting parts for all of them. And as you guys can see, the motors are over there. That's the nitrous neon motor over there. We have plenty of projects going on, but I wanted something different, something that is completely off the wall, of something I've never messed with before. And this is the perfect candidate. So leave down in the comments below what you guys think about the Saturn. What do you think it will make for power on our dyno? We are almost done with our dyno. As you see, the lift portion is working. I got all the air ran. The dyno is wired up. We just got to finish putting it together, and then we will have a fully operational dyno. Our computer setup is almost finished. We are searching for a desk to set everything up completely, because we don't want any wires on the floor for anybody to trip over or anything like that. We want to make it as clean and compact as possible. But what do you guys think about the Saturn? What do you think we can make for power? Off nitrous, on nitrous? What do you think the motor will handle? What do you think is actually broken? It was told the timing chain. So of course the motors are interference, so there have been some valves. And what do you think it's going to cost to repair it and to actually have a good running Saturn again? Leave it all down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, check out Yospilt on Facebook and Instagram. And till the next one, you guys are the greatest.